The 1880s, the world was a mess. There was many wars and disasters happening all over that was creating new forms of art, one of which was the realism movement. This art was about a certain type of literature in the mid-19th centuries that originated from France. It is characterized by subjects painted from everyday life in a naturalistic manner. Georgia O'Keeffe was one of the main inspirations for this type of movement, so much so that she was named as the mother of American modernism. Hello, my name is Sebastian Galeon. I'm here to talk to you about Georgia O'Keeffe. First, I'm going to start with her early childhood, then I will lead on to her artistic career. To start off, Georgia O'Keeffe was born on a dairy farm. She was born on November 18, 1887 in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. She has a total of six siblings, with her as the second oldest. She was named after her maternal grandfather, George Toto. As a child, Georgia's mother wanted her kids to be well educated since she aspired to be a doctor. This then sparked a curiosity in Georgia about the natural world and wanted to be an artist. So, her mother decided to hire local artists and started teaching class in her home. But Georgia wasn't the only person in the family that had an appreciation for art. She also had her two grandmothers and her two sisters as well. Then Georgia decided to continue studying her art and her academics in a strict and exclusive school called Sacred Arts Academy. In 1902, her family decided to move to Williamsburg, Virginia, but Georgia decided to stay behind for aunts and continued studying at Madison High School. At the age of 15, Georgia decided to move back in with her family, but as an artist driven with an independent spirit. She then started studying in a boarding school called Chatfield Institute. But there, Georgia stood out as an individual, since not only did she dress differently, but also act differently as well. But not that much later on, Georgia was more well known as an artist and actually became the main editor of the school yearbook. So far, what I've said, her childhood has been fairly good since she had many people backing up her dreams and decisions. So continuing on her life, Georgia moved to Chicago and started studying at the Art Institute of Chicago from 1905 to 1906. Then she had to take a year off to recover since she had succumbed to an illness called lymphoid fever. She then moved to New York City in 1907 to start studying at the Art Students League. There, she gained a still life prize for her oilhouse paintings. But then she quit being a painter because of the imitative realism. She then moved back to Chicago to work as a commercial artist. But unfortunately, she had to move back in for family since her mother has fallen ill and her father's company has become broke. She then started taking summer classes in the University of Virginia. There, she met Alan Bennett. Alan Bennett introduced her to Arthur Wellesley Dow. Arthur has been able to help her develop her own visual expressions through more abstract visuals. Then from that, she started teaching in public schools in Texas from 1912 to 1914. There, she met Alfred Stieglitz. How he met him was through one of her former students that showed him one of her works. Alfred became one of the first people to showcase her work in 1916. This is Behind Her Back and 5%. Then in 1917, she was able to hold her first solo show. Then in 1924, they have become married. During the mid-1920s, she has become recognized as one of America's most important and successful artists. During the summer of 1929, she took a trip to New Mexico. From there, she saw the landscape, architecture, and local culture, which has inspired her new way of art. There, she incurred iconic paintings based on what she saw in New Mexico. In the 1940s, her art was celebrated in the Art Institute of Chicago and at the Museum of Art in 1946. This is the museum's first retrospective of a female's work. After the death of her husband in 1946, she moved to New Mexico in 1949. And also in 1949, she has become elected to the National Institute of Arts. She then, from the 1950s to the 1970s, she has traveled the world to create new art. Also during this time, she has also increased the canvas's size. For the last 2 decades of her life, she has become ill and succumbed to blindness. But also during those 2 decades, when she was still succumbing to blindness, it didn't stop her from creating new art. She then had to hire more people to help develop more art. She then died in 1986 at the age of 98 and had her ashes scattered in the landscape of New Mexico. So during this time when she was a childhood, Georgia had a passion for art and the drive to pursue it the day she passed away. To conclude, Georgia O'Keeffe was a major figure in American art and known as the mother of American modernism. She remained independent to her own style of art and never shifted to the art trends of those days. She has shown the world to stay true to what you believe in, no matter what. This is my speech on Georgia O'Keeffe. Thank you.